The earnings expectations for NVIDIA were already huge, but they were still blown away.
We'll cross a few investors who got their full allocation.
Hello investors, and welcome to another 180 Markets Weekly Wrap. Well friends, the big keep getting bigger. And what do I mean? Well, I am talking about NVIDIA, NVDA up in the US, which is a mega cap company in the semiconductor space that is certainly taking advantage of the AI trend in a huge way. Now, what do I mean by the big getting bigger? The earnings expectations for NVIDIA, which reported last night, were already huge, but they were still blown away, and the stock is trading up a whopping 16%. And the phenomenon we are noticing in the market continues, which is that there is so much money being thrown at very few companies, and those companies keep getting larger, while the smaller companies, well, unfortunately, they continue to lag behind. And us as investors, that can become extremely frustrating because really everything is just focused on a very, very small portion of the market as opposed to the far bigger, broader part of the market. Now, when that trend is going to change, we certainly don't know. We will continue to look at all avenues and continue to look at more ways to make money. But right now, all the focus is on those big companies. And now to talk about capital markets and what went on in the markets this week. As always, I'll turn it over to you, Sean.
Thank you, Greg. And if you're still watching, here is a more exciting part where we look into the movers of the week and the placements. A lot of placements again, and quite a few movers, both up and down. For people like me, it is getting a bit frustrating. It is a stock picker's market. Just when you think it gets good, it turns and it goes bad, and vice versa. Let's take a look at the screen. Okay, we'll start on the 180 Markets platform, everyone's favorite website, 180markets.com.au, with American West Metals. They raised money at 10.5 cents this week, which was a 12.5% discount to the previous close of 12 cents. They are trading at 11 now. We were lucky enough to walk across a few investors who got their full allocation. ME1 serial raiser raised again, just below 1.1 cents was the raise. They went out to raise 750,000, but they took what they could get. They ended up raising a little bit over $1 million. TDO, that raise, we didn't have much interest, but it was cornerstoned by a couple of big funds. So obviously someone likes what they see, and I guess one to look into when we got time. ECS, a big raise for them. They raised $4 million. It will be very interesting to see what they do now, because the market knew that a raise was coming, and now once they got the money in the bank, hopefully they can put the money to work and create some magic. Now, we've got someone here who wants to talk about American Rare Earths. Go for it, Ariella.
So American Rare Earths went out at 30 cents a share to raise between 12 and 15 million, and they raised 13.5 million. They claim that they are pioneering the future of clean energy with their flagship project in southwest Wyoming, Halleck Creek. And they also claim that it has the potential to be the largest and most sustainable rare earths project in North America. American Rare Earths are also developing environmentally friendly and cost-efficient extracting and processing methods, which is for meeting increasing demand for resources essential and clean energy with the US national security. They're working with the governments, and it's a very exciting time for them, but the funds that they did raise are going to be for their Halleck Creek project in the rare earths.
Awesome. Well done, Ariella. Let's quickly take a look at the chart of American Rare Earths, because it's pretty interesting how much they went up before the placement. They went from 14 cents to 42, which is a massive increase on good news, and raising money at 30 is a good result for the company. Finally, let's just take a look at AUZ, Australia Mines. So they had a massive run up prior to the raise, and ended up raising money at 1.7 cents. Each share there came with a free option. So well done to Seb and the boys for getting their one away. It's been a great performer for those that took in the previous raise. Let's take a look at movers. We'll start with way too VAT. They have gone up way too, not much, but they've had a big rebound. This one was a 20-cent IPO, as we can see here, and has gone south since listing. This has been the first big bounce, and it has been a big one. It started 2 weeks ago at down here, 1.5 cents. So even lower, 1.2, and they've had a massive run. They actually hit 3.9 cents yesterday. So well done to Amos and the boys in our favorite country, and keep going, Amos. Let's take a quick look at TRI, the old MediBio. TRI has had a big run after there was no news to the market, but they did have a response to the ASX query. And the old MediBio, I think, used to trade at 0.1. So we can see that they've done a consolidation. And hopefully, with the new chairman there, they can keep going onwards and up. PAA, a lot of people love the stock. This is a biotech that is hoping to help people with MND. Just in the last 2 weeks, it's more than doubled. And they did have some favorable news recently. I can't believe it's 34 because just last week I was looking at it at 18 thinking it could be a punt, but hey, I missed it, and don't know if it's too late, but they're talking some big numbers around that one. BRN has been an awesome performer this week. We do know traders love the stock. Just as we see the number, if you watch closely, you can see bids coming in and out. Today, they've traded 62 million shares, which is a lot of trade. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, they've gone up from 15 cents to the current 47 cents a share, tripling. This one moves around a lot. Just over the last 5 years, we can see all these swings. And I remember this crazy run when they went to $1.80. Hopefully for traders and investors, it can keep going. I'm going to look at one that it's moved a lot in percentage terms, 80. Finally, they had a breakout overseas. They are drilling again. Traders love the stock. Just today, it's traded 77 million. Now, one of my favorite trading stocks has not been good at all this week, Sayona. I think we've got Ariella to talk about it. So Ariella, go for it. All right, next we'll take a look at a stock that I've loved to trade in the past, but I haven't done too well in it this week, Sayona. We can see here it's down another 5% today. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart for Sayona. They started the week around 6 cents a share. They did release their DFS, and straight after that, it went up. Then it went down, and then it went up. It was all over the place because investors just weren't sure what to make of it. It was trading at 6.4 at the close of trade on Wednesday, and yesterday Piedmont Lithium announced that they sold their shares. I think it was just under 80 million shares. So it tanked on that. Look what happened here, fell all the way back down and has been falling since. So all over the place, Sayona. Just when we thought they may have hit the bottom, it's getting very close to that bottom again. Just quickly, let's take a look at some downs. CTD, not one I follow closely. Corporate Travel Management, looks like they had some disappointing earnings. They fell from $20 to low 16, now trading at 16.37. Another faller, STX, continued the movement downward from the last 2 weeks. They have released some disappointing news on a well that they're involved in, so that's taken heaps off their market cap. Thanks for watching. For the 1 or 2 people that are still watching and have hopefully enjoyed the wrap, please sign up to our new WhatsApp channels. We sent an email and a text about them during the week. The 180 Markets one will have a lot of information about raises and behind the wall opportunities. And then we've got one called ASX Small Caps, which is about ASX Small Caps. So you can get more stuff like we do in the weekly wrap, that boring stuff and a lot of macro stuff from Greg. Hopefully you do find it interesting, but it would be great to see you on there. Have a great weekend, everyone.